The universe is always, always going to surprise you. Life will present us new situations, new people, new locations, new connections. Life is beautiful when it's ever-changing, when there is a constant flux of energy, when we experience and taste all the different flavors of being a human. But sometimes these changes can make us feel scared, can make us feel uncertain or anxious. Being a human being is a pretty uncertain thing. You never quite know what's around the corner, even when you prepare yourself for any possible outcome, even when you have experienced a lot, even when you think you've seen it all. Life will eventually surprise you and maybe throw you out of your center. Maybe it will make you feel overwhelmed and chaotic. When everything seems to be falling apart, or you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, it is important to trust yourself. You know, trusting people is something beautiful, something only a few of us are able to feel within. Trusting the universe is essential in order to keep going. And don't get me wrong, you should trust people. You should trust the universe. But you should simultaneously be aware of that people and the universe can surprise you at any given moment. The earth is a surprise. Sometimes beautiful, sometimes scary. Sometimes surprises can shake us up, make us forget who we are, make us lose our way. But there is a solution to that. Only one solution. And that solution is the trust you have for yourself. I want to show you what I do on a daily basis to create self-existing energy so that any surprises that come my way won't disrupt my inner peace, my inner stability, and my deep love for life. Hello everybody! So good to be back on this channel. I know I said that I was gonna upload every week, but you know, it's not that easy. I really want to keep that YouTube channel going and post as much content as I possibly can, but something inside of me is just resisting because I want it so much that it scares me. That's why I've been procrastinating about my YouTube channel. But today I'm going to share with you all the different things that I do in order to create self-existing energy, especially when I feel overwhelmed and when I feel like I have lots of things to do or many things on my mind and I don't know where to receive energy from, especially because the universe and people are so unpredictable. I need to have my own stability in my life in order for me to keep myself nourished mentally, spiritually, physically. I used to not prioritize my own routines and my own practices because I always felt like today I have to do so much work, let's prioritize work and do my practices later. And that ended up with me not doing the practices at all at the end of the day because I was exhausted from work, or I was just prioritizing relationships and plans and I just wanted to have fun and connect with people, and by that I didn't prioritize the energy that comes from within, but I prioritized the energy that I receive from without. But through going through so many different mental struggles and experiences in my life, I figured out that the only thing that kept me in a sense of inner peace, kept me in a sense of inner fulfillment and happiness, were those practices that I would do on my own that are so simple, so doable. I don't need to spend any money to do them, but they're my source of freedom. And I figured that out really, really late. So I want to tell you that anything you do by your own on yourself, spiritual rituals, they have to be your priority. Because no matter what is going to happen in your life, you will be able to trust yourself. I'm sure about nothing in my life. Everything in my life is unpredictable, unsure. But what I'm sure of, after experiencing so many downfalls with my own self, is that at the end of the day, I will show up for myself. Even if nobody else will, I will show up for myself. And I want to give this energy to you to tell you that this is the most important thing that you can do in your life, showing up for yourself no matter what happens. I am not going to neglect myself, I'm not going to abandon myself, I'm not going to let myself sit somewhere and be lazy and not continue with my life. I'm not gonna let myself do that. And by not being lazy, I don't mean I can't take a rest, because rest is actually part of this practice. But what I'm saying is that you shouldn't surprise yourself. Life will surprise you, people will surprise you, you shouldn't surprise yourself. And that is why I'm doing these practices, to make sure that I know exactly what my next step is going to be, because that is the only thing I can predict. And even when life doesn't surprise me, life can sometimes be stagnant, right? Sometimes something is stuck and we can't flow and we can't continue, but having practices that connect you daily to your own energy, to that catalyzer that will activate your inner creativity and your inner spark to be in love with life, that is when your life can never be stagnant. So having these simple techniques will not only make you trust yourself, but will also keep your life in a steady flow, will also keep your life in a constant flow of movement. You're going to become the catalyzer, even if you're doing the same thing every day. It will unlock little doors that you're not conscious of in the moment. So maybe you think, oh my god, this is boring, I can't do this every day. Long term, you will see the result. As I said, these are the things that I personally do every day. Of course, you are going to have your own routine, your own rituals, but maybe something that you haven't thought of in this video can inspire you to really create that energy that comes from within, so you're no longer reliant on anything else in this world. And this video is not about telling you to be independent. I'm not a fan of that mindset whatsoever. I know that we are, as human beings, all connected. We are supposed to be together. We are supposed to help each other out. We're supposed to be a community, a family. So we need each other in order to survive, in order to thrive, in order to love, in order to expand. But when you don't know how to create that self-existing energy first, you will always depend on others. And others are not always going to meet your expectations. That is why self-existing energy is so important. So let's start. The first thing I do on my ideal morning is to not go on the phone for social media. I'm really trying, but to keep the airplane mode on and check the galactic calendar and see what potential the new day holds. I don't know if you already know this, but I don't live according to the Gregorian calendar, which is the calendar that is most widely used, but I live according to the 13 moon calendar, which is also called Galactic Time. I want to wake up every single day with the intention of just being present with my thoughts, present with the dreams that I just had, and present with the daily potential that the day will bring. I was very intrigued with the topic of time, and I found out that our calendar is completely out of balance with the universe, completely out of balance with nature, and we live according to this calendar, which was designed to make us remember when to pay taxes. And just that energy alone makes me feel so put off. This calendar basically says time is money, and time is limited, and we have to rush, and we have to be stressed, and time is something that runs out. And I don't believe in that. I know that many people in the spiritual community say that time is an illusion, which of course I also know that in other dimensions time doesn't exist the way it does here. But what I've learned through diving so deep into this topic is that time is actually not just an illusion. Time isn't something that we should just erase from our minds. It is something that we can use for our own benefit. It is a tool that we can use to step into our highest potential and into the highest potential of Earth herself. So this is something that I think is not being mentioned enough, and that's why I want to talk about it. We are not making use of our fullest potential. And the calendar that I use, it's called the 13 moon calendar or the dream spell calendar. It is a calendar that is based on nature. It is a perfectly mathematically harmonized calendar. It has 13 months with each 28 days. When you live in galactic time, instead of this man-made concept of time, you live in synchronicity constantly. So if we would be living a life according to nature, we wouldn't just live in a three-dimensional way like we do right now, but we would be intertwined and connected to all the other dimensions as well. And that's when synchronicity happens. Synchronicity is the indicator that you are living in coherence with the universe. And that's why I'm using the calendar, because since I'm using that calendar, which talks about the highest potential of each day, the galactic codes of each day, what you can do or what you shouldn't do on that day in order for you to align with nature, that is when synchronicities in my life started to go crazy. I'm super passionate about this because I think that we're being so brainwashed in so many different ways, and time is one of them. And that's why I'm also sharing the daily potentials with you and the daily codes and what you should or shouldn't do. And also I share the daily meditations of each day. And I do this on my Patreon, so if you want to become part of that, feel free to join the Galactic Time community. I will leave the link in the description below. I'm sharing it with you through videos that will make you understand in a very human way what this day is about. And since I'm living according to this, oh my god, my life has been super magical, and things have just started to make sense for me. For example, today is the day of the White Overtone World Bridger, and the White Overtone World Bridger, this is like, it's like a guide, it's like a spirit that follows you throughout the day as an energy, and it takes you by the hand and it tells you where you need to go. And this has helped me in tremendous ways because I'm a Gemini. And I have so many different options for so many different situations in my mind. And I can't make decisions. It is something that's really hard for me because I think of all the different potentials of every outcome. And I can see something great in every potential and I can see something bad in every potential. So making decisions for me is agonizing. Since I'm using the calendar, it's just so simple. Because I know today I have to say yes to this, today I have to connect to people, today I have to talk to people, today I have to express my truth, or today I have to hold myself back. It is super helpful. So if you want to join me on there, we are such a cute community, and the people who are commenting on the videos and are messaging me privately about their lives and about the synchronicities that have been happening to them since they have been using the calendar is something that just lights up my spirit, lights up my heart. This is what I do first thing in the morning. I think that it's really important to have something that you do in the morning so that you can look forward to your day, something that sets an intention for the day. When I'm done with setting the intentions for today, I am starting to clean my room. Everything that feels cluttered or dirty needs to go. This is so important for me in order to feel balanced during the day. You can always remind yourself that your inner self reflects into your outer world. That means that your outer world can only be chaotic when your inner world is. It is always the most clear indicator. What I do when I clean is I listen to certain affirmations by John Rudolph Price from his Abundance book. They are my absolute favorites. There are 10 affirmations and they resonate with me on such a deep level that I speak them every single day. You can find them here on YouTube. Okay, so the next thing I do is I take care of my body. And the mind-body-spirit balance always needs to be there for me in order for me to create that self-existing energy. So what I do specifically is I massage my limbs and I stretch. And I started doing this because I've always had really bad back problems because I used to work as a makeup artist full-time. And for that, I always had to bow down in the weirdest ways for hours. But now I found out that actually trauma and negative experiences are stored in our lymphs. So when you feel tightness in a certain spot in your body, that means that of course the energy can't flow there. It's stuck. And that is where these clumps of negative energy are stuck as well. So you always need to make sure that you don't have any tight spots in your body. The back of the ribs are also very high. What is probably the most important thing of my routine is my spiritual practice, where I include prayer and step into direct conversation with my spirit guides. My spirit guides are the most important present energy I focus on in my life. They're always with me, deeply understanding my process and my turmoil in this chaotic world, always taking my hand to ensure I don't forget where I come from, to ensure I don't forget the beauty of life. When I talk to them, I take my journal and I just let them talk for me. My channel is mostly open when I write, so when I write, I feel like I'm not in my tiny human brain anymore. I feel like something different enters the room and shows me what I actually need to focus on.
And then for a while it can happen that you fluctuate for the next year or 2 or 3 between still feeling the love and the suffering.
If you don't talk to your guides, but you want to and you don't quite know how, I recommend to you to just start telling them about your current thoughts, about your fears, about your excitement, about your dreams, your longings, and your daily happenings. Talk to them as if they were your friends, just sitting with you in the same room, because they are. At first, you will feel like you're talking to yourself, but at some point, you will start receiving their responses, and you will see them in really clear signs. I feel their presence as if I wasn't physically alone. I know their energy, and every time I tap into it, I feel held and supported. But who are your guides? Your guides can be many things. If you are quiet and calm within your mind and heart, you will feel their energy around you, trust me. Your guides are whoever you feel within your presence. They are with you to assist you in this human experience. They want to be part of it because they have a deep connection to you. They want you to be in your full potential, and they operate in silence, in the invisible. But when you pay attention, you will notice them. What is essential for a life of trust for me are consistent prayers. I pray when I wake up in the morning. I thank my existence for another day on this planet. And I try to pray before I eat, even if it's just one sentence I say in my mind. I'm thinking of the people who have provided the food, thinking of every single step the food took in order for me to receive it on my plate, and being deeply grateful for it, and eating with intention. So when I don't forget, I cover the food with light energy and good vibrations in order to consume what I want to have within me, right? You can do this with any energy you want. You can infuse your food with confidence and then eat that. You can do the same with water, which works even better since water carries information. And when you're angry and you eat, with those thoughts of anger, you will consume more anger into your body. That's why when you're overwhelmed, try to be intentional about how you eat. Okay, so when I leave the house, it's probably going to be the most important prayer that I'm going to say during the day. And this prayer, I wrote it down because it has a lot of things that I want to specifically put out. And that's why I always read it. I read it out loud. And it goes like this. Please surround me with light and protect me from all negative influences as I step outside today. Help me stay grounded in my own power and energy. May I inspire everyone I encounter and be inspired by everyone I encounter. Help me plant seeds of love wherever I go. May creativity, new ideas, and opportunities flow towards me today. Another thing that is super, super important, and I do it every day, is taking care of my spiritual hygiene. And spiritual hygiene is a lot about taking back your energy from a person, from a place, from a situation, because most of the times when we are not in our own energy, or when we're just feeling overwhelmed or anxious or lost or confused, it is because our energy, our own energy, is scattered. So let's say, for example, you think of a situation a lot, or you think of a person a lot. Then your energy goes to that person, your energy goes to that situation. So your own energy is leaving your spirit. And the more energy that flies away from your energy field, the less you will feel centered. I think that many people make a big deal out of calling back your energy, or how to call back your energy and what exactly to say. But I think it is not that complicated. I think it is actually really simple. You can say that in one sentence. I call back my energy from all situations, all people, and all places back to me so that I can be whole, energized, and balanced. This is the ultimate way of how to not get attached to anything, because codependency is the main issue we have when we want to create self-existing energy. You can say, I am complete, I am present, I am here. One more thing that I do which creates self-existing energy is I spend time with myself a lot. I explore different activities that are just so romantic even when I'm alone. Having a romantic life and approaching things in a romantic way, even if it's washing the dishes, is something that will change your entire life. At least it changed mine. I love art, I love pottery. My mom has her own pottery studio because she's an artist. I love books, I love learning how to play an instrument. I love listening to music while riding. I love creating. And all of these things are things that are beautiful to do with others, but even more so alone. They will help you create that self-existing energy that is possible to be restored at any time, in any situation. Life gives us so much beauty, so don't limit yourself in the beauty you choose every day. Lastly, I want to give an homage to my greatest lover, who is always available, never not welcomes me, never pushes me away, who is ever giving and ever abundant. Nature. The fastest way to create self-existing energy is probably the most cliché, being surrounded by Earth herself, in her raw and honest form, being away from the sounds of cars, the noise of the masses, and the temptations of technology. Okay, so nature is obviously the place I get my most energy from. Nature is also the only thing that has abundant energy for you. Right now I'm at a place which is really close to my home, and I'm a little bit shocked because last year we had a flood. All of the forest got flooded by the river that's right behind me. I used to go to this forest every day. It was a real magical, fairy, mystical, beautiful forest, but now everything is destroyed. The trees are dead and the floor is not grass, it is just sand and dirt, and it is really, really painful for me to be here and to have walked this way. And where there was the river before, now there's nothing anymore, there's just sand and dirt. So I was just walking on that sand and suddenly I see from afar that somebody has built something here. It's a little house. And I'm just sitting in that right now, and I think it is so beautiful how people just make and are capable to make the best out of everything. And now that I'm just sitting here, even though everything is destroyed and it's not like I remember it at all, I can still feel the spirits and the beauty here because there's just so much love. And yeah, all I want to say to you is that nature is ever giving. I can't exclude this part from this video because apart from all of the practices I do at home and apart from all of the spiritual knowledge I'm trying to gain, in the end of the day, nothing can compare to the bliss I experience when I am in nature. The power of self-existing energy lies in your willingness to show up for yourself, to explore things that are beyond human connection and conversation, to find that inner knowing that you are the creator. Being overwhelmed can only happen when you forget one thing, that you are unlimited. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It was an honor to show you a little bit of my routine and how I create self-existing energy to stay in my focus, not being distracted by anything external, but creating from within. And everybody of us is of course able to do that. Everybody has such a unique frequency, such a special energy within themselves that they're always able to become aware of and to catalyze. I want to say a special thank you to my beautiful Patreons. Thank you so much for supporting me. You have no idea what it means to me. Starting a Patreon is something that was really scary for me in the beginning and it still is. That's why I feel so loved and supported by the small community I already have in there. I think we are now 22 or 23 people, so thank you so much to all of you guys. I want to say a special thank you to Alexandra, to Florence, to Dominica. Thank you guys, especially because you guys are part of my weekly live stream and we create the Rainbow Bridge together collectively every week, and it is such a heartwarming and heart-fulfilling experience. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and a very special thank you to Eddie. Me and Eddie, we had our one-on-one reading this month, and it was just one of the most beautiful conversations I've ever had with a stranger. If you don't know, I also give readings about galactic signatures and about your specific purpose in this incarnation. So yeah, this has been such an amazing month. Also, I want to make one announcement before I go, because this is so close to my heart. Me and one of my best friends are going to host a retreat. Yes, we're going to host a retreat. It will be about galactic time. It will be about being in coherence with the universe. It will be about mythology, because it will happen and it will take place in Greece on an island called Kea. And we have rented the most beautiful accommodation where 16 people can stay at. It has an ocean view, and we will just be there together and explore the depths of ourselves and the depths of what we're here to do, with meditation, with activations, with just talks and conversations. If any of you feels called to go to Kea with me and my wonderful friends, just write me an email. I will put it in the info box below, and we will send you all the information you need. So yeah, I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful day. May everything be known as the light of mutual love. Thank you for watching and listening. Goodbye.